giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby.
Lovely. Khon, take it over a little bit.
Well, we're not so sure if we're still expecting some people. We've had some people that have...
Africa time.
Yeah,
we know. They're still going to come.
Hello, you guys look amazing. You are all looking clean. We've got We've got some prizes there for people who are the most dressed. So that's why I'm saying you are all looking clean. You are all looking, we don't know what we are going to do. Anyway, welcome all of you. I just want to acknowledge the people who organized this event. That's Modi. Where is he? Modi. We need to clap hands for him. He has done an awesome job. And Wallace, of course, you are not winning the prize, even if you are looking amazing.
Yeah. I thought I would win.
So these people have done an amazing job. We just need to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And also I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge those people who have been affected by the floods. It's so bad and sad what happened there. Let's continue praying for them. If anyone needs some help, please get in touch. We know people who can help you. If you know anybody in Auckland or Hawke's Bay, please get in touch. We can help out. Oh, that's better. Anyway, the purpose of this meeting, some people are saying, why are we gathered? What's going on? We got a little bit of money from MSD, from the government, to do these things, just for us to look after our mental health. Because as you know, as African people, we want to hide it somewhere. Hide it under, I don't want anybody to know. But there are so many things that's going on in our communities. Our children, some of them are taking their lives. You know, even us as adults, there's so much disconnect between our children and us. So they are saying, look here, African people, do something for yourselves. They didn't give us much. They want us to do a lot of things like, you know, gather up the youth, gather up couples, gather up women and men. So this is the beginning of everything. This is the first one. So if you guys are invited, please come and support. If it's women, come and support. It's good for us. We come together as African people, encourage each other. One of the things is, of course, coming together as African people, and then learn from each other. From this meeting, we are going to take with you only one thing. It doesn't have to be so many things, because there are no experts here, but we are all learning. So just one thing, please, take with you one thing that you might learn. And get to know each other. Because we didn't know there are people from Madagascar, there are people from China, there are people from, you know, so it's good to know. Yeah.
She can sing first.
So it's good to know you've got a neighbor. We've got African sisters, we are brothers. There's no one who is better than the other. We are all the same, we're in this together. This is not our motherland, this is a foreign land. So we need to come together and do things together as one. It's very important. And the other thing is focusing on our future and our children. How many people do agree with me our children really need us as African people, and they need our support? And things are changing. It's not the same anymore. Like, you know, I'll give you an example. On what's the 14th February? What date do we call it? Valentine's Day. My lovely son-in-law had to go and get a present for his son to give to his crush. Right? This is our 8-year-old grandson. He had to do something for his crush. Did we do that back home in Africa? No. 8-year-olds? Not at all. So, yes, so things are changing. We need to go with the flow, see what we can do, what is right, come together and say, this I can do, this I can't do. So sharing ideas is very important. That's why they are saying, hey you, why are you getting lost? Get together and do something for yourselves. So that's very, very important. Plan future events. Some people have said, look, we want to go for a weekend retreat. We can't do it without you people. What do you want to do? Tell us what you want to do. Invite your husbands. Some of them are missing. Encourage them. We are doing this for our children and for our grandkids. If the couples are happy, our children are happy and the grandkids are happy. Is that correct? Yeah. So that's why we are here. I think that's all. Do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate you. Keep coming to the next meetings. Your input is important to us. If you think, no, Sabina, this doesn't work, do it this way. Yes, we are welcome to do this together. It's not about me. I'm not like, look, yeah, I'm making money out of this. I'm not. But it's about you. It's about our community. It's about what we can do to support each other for the future generations. Thank you very much.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Louise. I'm originally from Nigeria. All the Nigerians in the room. I've been invited to specifically come and talk to you all about communication. And I've got a few pages here. Don't panic, I'm not going to read them all.
How long does she have?
2 minutes? Cheers. Thank you. All right. So there's actually 2 points here. I've been asked to talk about communication, and then there's a specific question that's been put forward to me. Can you all hear me all right? Yeah. Cool. So I'm sure you've all heard this. Communication is the key to any relationship. Just checking. Sometimes? All right. Communication is the key to any relationship. Whether it's with your partner, your family members, your work colleagues, and yourself. Yes, you do need to have good communication with yourself as well. Because if you can't get that right, how are you going to communicate to others what's okay for you and what's not okay for you? I will talk a bit more about communicating with ourselves later on. Communication doesn't just mean talking. To have an effective communication outcome, you also need to listen. Listening is just as important as actually talking, because sometimes we worry about what we're going to say next and not really listen to what the person is saying. Whereas if we just stop and listen, a lot of the time they communicate what they need from us. All we have to do is listen effectively. Not listen while you're on your phone. Not listen.
I didn't know that.
I know we can all multitask, but I put that to the test. It doesn't actually work that well. Now I've got a little test for you all. What are the components of communication? So there's 3 main styles of communicating with other people. Does anyone know what they are?
Subjects to talk about.
Can we Google? Talk about?
To communicate.
Yeah. What else? Body language. You get a star there. Body language. What else? Your tone. You get another star there. There's one more. So body language, tone.
You gotta listen, guys. Non-verbal.
That's your body language. You know, when sister say, you know, when the partner moves this way. Verbal. Thank you. Yes, so there's 3. Verbal, the word we actually speak. the body language, and the tone, how we say it. Second part of your test. How many percent, so this needs to add up to 100%, by the way. How many percent is verbal?
80%.
80? Thank you. 80% verbal. How many percent is non-verbal, your body language?
10%.
10, so we're at 90 at the moment if we're going to follow that suit. So tone is what? You don't have to follow what they've suggested. Tone is what?
I reckon tone's 50%.
You reckon tone's 50%? Great. Any takers in the room? 60 for tone. Okay. Any other takers in the room?
So that's gone over 100.
It's all right. It's all good. It's a test. Any other takers in the room? Going once?
50%.
50% for tone? Okay. I shall give you the answers. Verbal, the words we speak, the words that comes out of our mouths is only 7%. 7%.
Ladies, they will stay quiet there.
So you know when you're busy going, rah, 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 it's only 7%. That's effective. Body language. 55%.
Wow.
So we actually say a lot by not saying it. How you guys are all engaged with me, looking at me, you're actually saying a lot. You're not using any words. Your tone.
45. I'm just enjoying
Your tone is 38. So what you say is less important than how you say it. I'm just going to let that simmer down a bit.
Sink in.
Sink in. So that was your test. So that's enough on communication for now. I did have a specific question to do with anger. Am I allowed to read out the question?
Yes, please.
How can you keep forgiving a person that keep doing the same thing over and over again? For example, raising their voice when they're angry. How do you keep forgiving someone when they keep doing the same thing over and over again? For example, raising their voice when they're angry. That's the question.
You switch off.
Why do you switch off?
Because you don't want to be addressed in the way that they are raising their voice on you all the time.
Yeah, but do you forgive them? The question is, how do you forgive someone that keep doing the same thing over and over again? For example, raising their voice.
It depends on how long you can tolerate.
Okay, so that was the question. Here's some words to address that issue. So we all know about emotions, right? We have a range of emotions in us. There's joy, there's sadness, there's anger, there's fear, there's disgust. There's a lot more that comes under all those top headings. Anger is actually a natural response to something that's not going well. And it's okay to be angry. I'm giving you all permission to be angry. The key message here is do not let the anger impact you emotionally, physically, or any shape. And don't inflict that anger to your loved ones. That's not okay. It's all right to be angry, but it's not okay to take it out on someone else. So when we look at anger, we can use it to our advantage because it's a normal emotion. It's been in us from day one, right? So you gotta ask yourself, is that anger constructive or destructive, right? This is what we're talking about. Nothing wrong with being angry, it's just how we use it. Just like there's nothing wrong with being happy, just how we use it. Sometimes it's not okay to be happy when things is not going okay. You gotta be true to how you're feeling. Weak?
Yes.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's weak.
Weak. I don't know. I'm just dipping into Paris every now and then. I just go weak. So constructive anger helps us resolve a problem. In that moment, it helps us, stimulates us to respond appropriately. Because if you're not in tune with what's going on internally, things will be happening to you without you knowing that it's happening. Destructive anger is a repetitive and has no positive result. That's destructive. Constructive, you use it to your advantage. You walk away when it's not okay. Because the person you're angry at isn't going to change. Right? They're not angry. You're the one being angry. I'll get to the point of my message shortly. While they're not going to change, you're not growing. Because you're busy being angry. No one is winning. In fact, what you're doing is you're creating a pathway in your brain that makes the anger more likely to just keep coming up. You're getting into this negative pattern, which is not okay. When anger is used as a habit rather than a way of processing what's going on to you or around you, when you hold on to it for a long time, it turns out to be harmful to your both physical and your mental well-being, and also to the people around you. No one comes out of it in a good position.
Oh. Get ready for the long ride, guys.
Very stylish.
Thank you. You notice. Forgiving someone does not mean you're condoning their behavior. Let's not get that twisted. When you forgive someone, it doesn't mean you said what they've done, it's okay. This is not okay, remember? Forgiving someone means that you actually don't condone it. Because in order for you to forgive, it means something that was done was not okay. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Because you know it's inappropriate, you're choosing to cleanse your heart. Sister Sabina talked about mental well-being, talks about all the struggles we go through. You're not making excuses for their behavior. What you're doing is you're accepting it and making peace with it. There's a difference. I once read a quote that says, holding on to anger is like someone drinking a poison. It only damages you from the inside out. Because by the time you start seeing it outside, it's done a lot of damage inside. So, the reasons why it's important to forgive, again, not getting it twisted. It's not okay to be angry towards your partner or your loved one or yourself even. Use that anger, recognize it, and do something about it. Alright? And when you choose to forgive, it's actually you choosing to forgive for your own well-being. Because when you keep remembering that hurt that you haven't resolved in your mind and your heart, that memory keep triggering a chemical response in your body. It triggers physical distress in your body. whether it's your heart rate going fast, whether your eyes starting to twitch. That's all your signs of stress. And when you remember it often enough, your body goes into what's called a chronic stage of distress. And that has a physical cost on you. Physical cost to your body. So it's really important to recognize the stories you're telling yourself. Remember when I say you have to have a good relationship with yourself? When you're telling yourself the same thing over and over, and if it's not positive, it's only going to destroy your relationship with yourself. So to recap, so obviously to change that narrative is really important to recognize what's happened is not okay, to find solution to address it. Holding on to anger, what are you doing? Just holding on to poison. Because the person you're angry about ain't gonna change. They're happy, or they think they're happy. So to recap, communicating effectively is a key to a healthy relationship. Without good communication, just like without oxygen, what do? We die. Without good communication in your relationship, dies. Finito. Finished. Au revoir. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Sorry, cameraman, I keep dancing. Sorry. Forgiveness is the ability to reclaim peace when part of your life hasn't turned out the way you want it to. So I purposely answered the question, but I like to expand it because I'm Nigerian. We don't like to restrict ourselves. We like to expand a bit.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So when I talk, I usually give examples and reasons that you could apply in other part of your life as well. For the couples in the room, it's good to see you all. Bring in your loved ones. If you haven't done this already, this is a little tip. This wasn't part of my brief, but I thought, again, Nigerian in the house, overachievers. A little tip. If you haven't done this already, learn your love language. Learn your love language and then communicate it with your partner. Or learn your love language and notice what your partner's love language is, and then have that communication. For those of you who don't know what love language is, you can Google it. That's something you could Google. But there's 5.
Mine is obvious.
It's never obvious. It's good to communicate it. Don't assume, because she might be thinking, or he might be thinking something else. Word of affirmation is 1. Quality time. Act of service. Gifts. Physical touch. Alright? So those are the 5 love language, and we all have them. Some of us have more than 1. I know I've got 3, and that's okay. Learn your love language and communicate that to your partner. And look after yourselves and look after each other. Touchy.
Thanks very much, Louise.
I do have some of the love language here for anyone interested.
Powerful now.
So there we go. One time I went home and I was really upset. The first thing that was going, I was coming from work and I had a bad day from starting from home with Chris. And then I get to work, my whole day was shambles, right? And then I found Ethel waiting for me.
I will sing a song. It's called Salakau, and it's from the south of Madagascar, where the best music comes from, but that's not my tribe, but I love the music anyway. And it's about a son who has gone astray and has done all the things he's not supposed to do, and then he needs to go back to the community and asking everyone to come along with him so that he will get accepted again within the community. So it's quite a touching one. But it is a good song. He's welcomed back and he's part of it all again.
See how good she is? She doesn't need a microphone.
Salakaura wende, salakaura wende, salaka famata utete ulu famangitane mane, manengetile kumale, salakaura wende, salaka famata utete itwangeni. Simahavangi misuluguta tianga ke mahavangi luz izamali lo ni ali fatina ito haitani kuati yani ku izamali misulu ene milali antononjua manenga busi aba tianga ke simahapoete ulu famangitane manenge tile kumale twangeni urawene twangeni famata utete salakaura wene salaka famata utete ulu famangitane manenge tile kumale salakaura wene salaka famata utete
I think we are looking for Wallace and wife.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Wallace.
Hey. Oga. Come on, man. Is it set? Yeah. Is it set? Okay, come on. Put your hands together. Come on,
So, no, they're not dancing. So Wallace and the wife. No.
What?
No, you have to dance. You have to dance.
20 seconds.
It's all right. No, listen to Francois. We have order here on our thing, and so we're going to, yes, we learned about communication, and we are trying to communicate with you. And you, Francois, you're gonna have to wait a little bit and give me some chance to communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so now, you see, now I'm in class.
Yes, you're in class.
Yes, the teacher in me has resurrected. So we're just going to have Wallace and the wife to talk about, just to give us some tips on marriage. Some of us, some of us are not married, some of us are married, some of us are getting married, some of us are in between and wherever we are. So we are all right. Yeah, so they're just going to give us some tips in case should we decide to have a wedding, we'll call you. Should we decide to have a divorce, we'll call you. Should we have like a catch course because I murdered my husband, my ex, my whatever, we'll call you. Yeah, so that is how it's going to be.
So call us, you get the answers.
All right, thanks, Khon. You just assumed that everything was going well in the marriage.
Are we eligible to? Are we? Yes. I don't know what to say. Yes.
Just assumed that everything was going well. So.
Actually, I just want you to be honest. Just be honest, because when we're getting married, they don't tell us the truth. So what we want is just for you to be you guys and just tell us how you feel, you know, and what you want to share with all of us. Don't worry. Even these that are sitting there, sometime it will be their turn to say at least something, you know. If they have to tell us to say they can get a broom and get on to go and talk to the grandmother in Africa, that's what they do at night, they can tell us.
So share your headaches. Okay. Share your headaches.
She's gonna start.
Watch out. All right, so we know each other for, this is our 10 years, right? For 10 years. So we've been married for, this is our 7 years, going to be 7 years, so 6 years now. So we met in Malaysia. He's been living in Malaysia for almost 10 years. He did his studies, and then we met, decided to get married, and when we have our first baby.
Who said hello first when you met?
Oh, do I need to? Do we need to tell them?
Did you like the chocolate? Say it.
I said,
you like the chocolate?
All right, just make it short. So I met him. My cousin has a club, like a nightclub. So it's quite big. So they have like a performance, like band coming to sing like every weekend. So there's one night, the band called sick. So he called me and said, "This is urgent. What happened?" Then he said, "You need to come here because you can sing." So I agreed to came to that place that night to sing. Then, long story short, a group of Africans came to the club.
Like we do.
Yeah. So I saw African for the first time. Like in my life, like close.
Yeah.
So, like how I used to do, I just go and greet them, cheers, and then this guy was the tiniest African in the group.
Some of us are like
He's the tiniest one.
That's not me.
And then there's one of his friends came to me and give his number. He was very masculine. That time, that was my type. You know, that time, that was my type, like masculine guy, you know. But at the end of the night, so we are already at the car park, want to go home. So I think you came, he gave me a card. He's not like other guy, he didn't ask for numbers. He don't even talk to me. I thought he's not interested. Are you really interested in me? Very cheeky, very cheeky. So he gave me a card. So in his name card there's numbers and it's written Doctors of Philosophy. I said, wow, you're a doctor. So, yeah. Then he collected my number. Said, okay, bye-bye, bye-bye. Then when I get home, he called me. It's almost 3 a.m., 3 in the morning. Yeah. So he asked me, can I come to your place? I said, what? By this time? Come to my place for what? I have work tomorrow.
You can come to my place.
In the house. 20 years from now.
So actually, I'm not really interested because I'm already tired. I need to work tomorrow. So I just, this randomly came to my mind, say, okay, if you can come to my office tomorrow, wait for me until I finish work, then I will go out with you. So the next day, he really came. He waited almost 4 hours. Yeah. He waited almost 4 hours. So that made me change. Okay, he's already waited for so long. Let me just go out tonight. So I love karaoke. So he asked me, okay, let's go to have some fun in karaoke. So we sing. Not we. I'm the only one who sings. He just drinks.
Wow, is that an accusation?
No. So the funny thing is, when we finish, everything we finish, so we need to pay. So I was waiting for him to pay. And he came to me. Can I borrow your money first?
Before I borrow your heart.
So I thought
it was a test. I said, okay, I'll pay. But in my mind, I said, this will be the last. The first and last. I won't go out with this man anymore. No. But after a long run, I know him. He's a really gentle guy. But although, you know, African, they're very hush-hush. Because at the beginning of our marriage, it's like you know, everything women need to stay at home, need to do everything. Am I right?
Yeah. All right.
Continue.
But he's a nice guy.
So did I do a good job? Was I smooth? I was smooth, right? Yeah.
So you baptized the heart.
Yeah. So.
There's a question there. Did you pay her back the money?
Oh, in fact, I wanted to start off because you know when our sister Louise was talking about you know, showing affection and all of that. I keep saying a joke that she's owing me all the presents. I bought presents and gifts for her till up to 2050 maybe. You know? But yeah, that's pretty much life. So we
So
pay
you
back.
paid your debt?
Yes.
And more. And more.
Over like
To
be ahead. So yeah, I think for us, Khon, what has been going down was at the beginning we had a clash of cultures, as you would imagine, you know, coming from Africa and she from Malaysia. So over in Malaysia, it's a totally different ball game.
Woman is the controller.
Woman is in charge.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
right?
boss of the
I
home.
want to go there tomorrow.
Oh, I think you will not last. You will not last. You won't survive. You will hop on the plane and head home.
My guitar, we are cool.
Food. Because we later we got talking and observed in some families back in Malaysia, the woman actually, so the woman controls the bank account. So the man's salary goes into that account, and the woman dictates what is being spent, you know, where it's being spent, and yeah, it works well for them. Funny enough, you know.
It's the best accountant. Do you agree with me? We bring the money for ourselves. We spend it equally.
So in Nigeria, the man, what we call, you must have vex money. You know, like if you're angry, you know, you should have some side income. Vex money. So we call it vex money. Yeah. So, but yeah, back to the Malaysian story. So yeah, so we had clash of cultures. We come from Africa, where pretty much the man, you know, drives things in the house, makes decisions.
Almost every week. Like every week we fought.
Yep. So it was pretty much, I guess it's fighting for terrain, just testing each other's, where do you belong, your boundaries, you know. So, but after a while, we sort of got into it and, you know, started understanding each other, just like how Louise said. So you say a lot by your actions, so you tend to sort of read each other, read your emotions, you know when. So I know when she's not happy and what to do to make her happy, you know. I know when to help out in the house, what to do, you know, like chores.
Teach me.
I know back home we're like my dad, I've never seen him go into the kitchen to wash plates, to do dishes. It was pretty strange. I had to start adjusting, you know, to some of those some of those things, and also helping around in the house because there's no family. I didn't have any family, and yeah, it was pretty difficult. Yeah, so we just need to learn how to walk around each other, then also communication as well.
There's joy in that one.
So, like I think, like my dad, if he just walks in, he knows the countenance on his face, and my mom can just read that. But for us, it might not work so well. So I might need to have to communicate to her what I really need, and you know, she's very good at that, you know, communicating with me. And, so I needed to learn from all of those. Then others, what else again? I think just knowing what interests we have, so our individual interests. So in terms of us working together, so things we love, we do them excellently together. But again, try to give each other space to do what they love individually. So when I'm going to play chess, she cannot really get in the way, and when she's going to music.
Yeah, if I want to go out with my girlfriend, do some music. I always like to have a quiet time for myself. I love to sing. So if I go in the room, if I told him that, okay, I'm going to the room, I want to sing some song. So he will understand, so the children will be with him, and I can stay like 1 or 1.5 hours, just listen to music, singing, just, I believe that everybody have their own things to do.
Your me
to
time.
make to make yourself feels like, like have a release of stress during the days. So that's what I did.
All right. Any other stories you want to hear from us again? Questions? We have any questions? We are happy to take them. All right. Oh, okay. She has a question.
Sorry, the question and what will come very, very soon. Okay. Or how, if you've got questions, this is the time to ask. So you want to?
Was it read? How did you adjust to New Zealand's culture?
All right. New Zealand or just developed culture, right? Civilized or?
Did you integrate or assimilate?
So first time I left home was 2008. So when I got to Malaysia, it was pretty much a cultural shock, because in terms of development, they were way ahead. I remember asking the taxi that picked us up from the airport, that took us to the hotel. I asked them if they have Julius Berger. So people in Nigeria will know Julius Berger. I think, are Julius Berger in other African countries? No. Okay. So Julius Berger is, where are they from again?
Are they from Germany?
Germany.
Yeah, construction company.
So we believe that locally they are the best in construction. So I asked the taxi guy, I said, oh, do you have Julius Berger in Malaysia? And he was laughing. He didn't know anything about Julius Berger. So later on I got to know that they have their own local construction companies, so they don't really depend on foreign multicultural organizations. So that was a big shock to me, the level of development. Then simple, little infrastructure, like things like internet, power, water supply, and things like, little things that we are sort of having challenges back home. Was because I remember when I bought my first laptop, I browsed overnight. I was in shock, like, is this internet? Is this power? I lost track of time, so to say. I was just, browsing the internet and getting lots of materials for my study, because I moved there to study. So that was a big shocker. Other things I observed as well was in terms of the education system. So the education system is a bit different from back home, where the lecturer is God, next to God, and and all of that. So the lecturer can dictate if he's giving A, who is giving A, B, and C to. But there the lecturers were pretty much down to earth. So you will see a professor, he will sit down with you and have dinner, have lunch. Yeah. You can talk to him freely, share your ideas, and
No corruption.
So, oh yeah. Yeah, corruption. So it was pretty much, and also the education system was very precise. So you knew when, because students had to buy their airplane tickets to the city to study. So they knew when they were going to start their studies, they knew when they were going to finish, they knew when they were going to write exams. Everything was, precise. They didn't have strike actions like we have. Back home we have strike actions. We used to have a joke back home that you're studying 4 years plus X. Yeah, so that X could be a year, plus. Yeah, so back then when I was studying, I remember we had, I think, 3 months, school was shut down because of religious crisis. Another 6 months was shut down because academic staff union went on strike. So yeah, similarly in New Zealand, guess how long our strike lasts? Our strike could go from maybe 1:30 to 4:30. So last time, yeah, when I got the notification that we were going on strike, I was so happy. Maybe we were going to rest home for 3 to 6 months, but when I saw the time, I was so disappointed. 1:30 to 4:30. Yeah, but I think in New Zealand, that kind of action sends a very serious message to people in authority compared to back home. So I think, yeah, those are some of the, and also medical. So the healthcare system was also very top-notch. If you know, Malaysia is sort of the center for medical tourism. So yeah, so they are pretty much advancing in terms of medicine. Yeah, I think, thank you.
Anybody? Anyone else with a question?
No, answer.
That's our counsel over there.
Answers only.
Madam Sabina? Not you, I can. This way, who you can cancel?
So, what is counseling? I need counseling.
Go ahead.
Who's a counselor?
Okay, we know you need counseling.
So, you know already.
If someone was to get married, what's 1 or 2 pieces of advice would you give them? So that's to you guys. And in terms of...
We just need to complete each other because our interests might not be the same. Our weakness, our strength might not be the same. So we just, like what me and him, so whatever that I can't do, he will try to complete it. And whatever he can't do, so I try to complete it. Or whatever things that we can't do, we try to work it out. So it's also go back to communication. It's really important. It is really important in terms of communication. Like my husband, you know, African, he doesn't really like to communicate at first. So that's when the misunderstanding happened. I don't know, I don't understand what he wants, what he's trying to say, and he doesn't say. He assumed that I understand, but I'm not. So in time, because we've been knowing each other for 10 years, so that amount of time we are still learning. I'm still learning about him, he's still learning about me. There's some things that, maybe new things for me, like now I'm a bit freely to talk, because when we moved to New Zealand, our view has broadened because of the cultures, you know. So anything that we think that, like maybe example, things that he needs to know, so I will personally talk to him. But not like in front of people, in front of children, maybe before sleep. Say, honey, or I call him sayang. Sayang is like love, my language.
Sayang.
So sayang, do you know, today this thing, I think it doesn't work for me. Maybe we could change to this. Then I will hear about what is his opinion. Then we work through it. So I think, yeah, communication is the key.
Louise can talk about that.
Thank you.
To answer your question, on the counselling modules, they talk about distorted thinking. There's different lists of distorted thinking. The number one thing that can affect your communication is called mind reading. So we assume we can read someone's mind because she looks a certain way. And it's been talked about with this lovely couple here. Your upbringing, when Papa comes home, you know, we know who's the boss in the house. You met your beautiful wife, her upbringing was completely different to yours. So recognizing that your partner's upbringing will be totally different to yours. Even though you're from the same village, it will be different because you're not from the same family unit. So knowing that, and then knowing that he can't read your mind. You might look upset and you expect him to know why you're upset, but he can't read your mind. So So don't take those little things for granted. Communicate. Express yourself. Listen. The part of the communication you missed was communication is not just about talking. It's also about listening, paying attention to what's been said, but more importantly, what's not being said, because we express a lot by our body language.
Thank you, please.
Question for Sabina here. It's been written down. This question has been given up. It says, what are some of the things that couples can do on the dating night?
Just before I go on to that one, just some little tips to you. I can't remember your name by the way.
Giselle.
So, Giselle, okay. This is what I've read. The first thing maybe in a marriage to work on is your intimacy, how connected you are. And there's so many ways of connecting. One of them is spiritually, and then emotionally, physically. So make sure you're working on that connection. And the second one is commitment, being committed to that person you're getting married to, in terms of your money, finance, and everything that you do, make sure you're well committed to them. And the last one, which is a big one we've been talking about today, is communication. It's very, very important. So those three major things working on them. Anyway, going to the date night. When we have couples come to us first session, we say to them, are you guys having a date night? Once a week, do something together. The first one, some of the things you can do, which you all know, and some of the things that you can even tell us. I've got a list here. I'll try and read it quickly. Pamper yourselves or go for a spa. Have a meal out together. Once a week, do one of these things once a week. Relive the wedding night, the day you got married. Look at the pictures. Do whatever you want to make sure. I saw one of my sisters watches a wedding video once a week, and I thought that was a good idea. Yeah. Answer intimate questions. Sit down, candlelit candles, and answer some questions. Make a candlelight dinner at home. Go for mini golfing, lunch date or online date. Stay in bed over the weekends if you want to. Visit a theme park. Not all day, yeah, make a meal together, go for anything you think you can do together. Find some free events. There are lots of free events in Wellington or wherever you live. Or go dancing. I'm sure our sister can teach you how to do it. Go dancing. And movie nights, have some popcorn, behave like kids, take a road trip, game nights. Don't be boring, anything fun. Just have some fun together for a date night once a week. We've got some presents there for 3 people to go for a date night. So keep your ears open for that.
All right. Anything to...
I've got a question. So what do you do if you say, because you said a movie. Some people, like I learned here that we are all different, right? Yeah. And sometimes some of us, we like to watch Jackie Chan. So that I can name the movie. But then your spouse doesn't like Jackie Chan. So how do you convince your spouse to say you want to watch Jackie Chan, but you want to be with the spouse? What? Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. The compromise thing is not something that works. I paid for my husband to go for a movie. 5 minutes in, he was out. And I'm not telling you what, no. I'm being honest. Yeah. And since then, I go to the movies by myself. So I'm asking you guys as the counselors, maybe one, yeah.
Why are you watching Jackie Chan?
All right. Well, I'm not a licensed counselor, so don't take my word for it. So I think the issue of the movie he might have movies that he would like, and some that you might like, and so it's pretty much, I think, sister said compromise. So it's pretty much working together what works for both of you. Yeah, I think that's the way. Or you can always keep elbowing him during the movie to wake up. I'll give it to you.
You'll love it.
Yeah, second what everyone said, but with compromise, it's a lose-lose. One of you is going to lose when you compromise. So it depends on whether you're willing to accept that. Because when you compromise, one of you will lose or both of you will lose. So it's not a win-win situation. So you might want to negotiate with your loved one. You know, there'll be other movies. I don't know what your husband is in. You know, it could be
Jesus is coming soon.
And you're not into it, but you negotiate. So all right, watch this with me, darling, baby, wherever you call your loved one. I'll watch what you like. It could be Doctor Who, it could be sci-fi, it could be something out there. Oh, we have a family.
Or the movie can be your own thing, like your own thing that you do, isn't it?
Your own.
Can that work?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about your me time. So
The suggestion was on date night.
Oh,
That's
so
why I came up.
yeah. See,
Negotiate.
And negotiate.
And find a reward for each other.
Do the elbow. Oh, the other one is just as you say, find yourself. Anyone's got questions, so we can move on. There's more questions. Okay. Yes, madam.
Thank you, and thanks Sabina for the tips on date night. My question is on how those tips change when you have kids, because I find that when you have kids, your me time is significantly reduced, especially when you're, especially when you don't have family here, so you have no help. So basically, your kids are forever with you. So how do you find me time in the midst of kids?
We are
and
opening
work
a babysitters club.
Yeah, end of question. That's a very, very good question, and everyone says the same thing. But my advice is, you can make it happen, find ways of finding babysitters, that's number one, or buddy up with friends. It's good to make friends, like that's why we are all here. You can identify this one has got kids my age, so you can alternate. I drop you my kids at yours tonight because we need to go somewhere. So those kind of things. And besides that, it doesn't mean it has to be night time. You can do it while the kids are in school. Get half a day off if you can, or some hours off, lunchtime. Do everything you can. Because this is where couples fail, because they don't spend quality time together. So date nights are meant for that. They are very important. Do you want to say something?
I just want to acknowledge the young couple in the room with a young baby and another one on the way. Been there, got 3 babies. It's hard. We're going to keep it real here. It's not going to be easy. But what's going to get you through it is the communication. I love going out on date night, but I couldn't when my babies were little. I'm looking at my brother over there and his wifey over there. It's hard. That's the reality.
No, we know it.
Right? So no BS in here, it's hard. But keep it real, communicate, acknowledge each other, acknowledge that you would love to take your baby girl out and pamper her, but you just can't do it now. Just communicate. Shower her with other ways of affection. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yes. So keep it real, and the time will come where you will be able to go out and do all this fun stuff when the babies have grown up. Like my babies have grown up now.
A hand of applause for our speakers. Thank you very much to all of you. Now, I'll also add on a little bit. That same man that is standing there, for those of you that have children, when we were talking here, we were waiting for dinner. That gentleman had said something to me. It was like, I don't have my mom here, but I've got my friends here. So what we do, if we want to go out, our friends take care of our children, and the two of us can go. So there's always an option. Did you hear that, Cindy?
Yeah.
Yes. So, fine.
You can call uncles, it's alright. They're good sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Now, honestly speaking, the problem that we have in the diaspora is because we lock ourselves up. And so even when we're going through lots of challenges, one, we're scared that people will tell others about that. But if you've got some good friends, I tell you the truth, whatever goes on in there, they won't tell anybody. And they'll give you a chance to say, okay, guys, we know your children very well. And your children, that boy had said to the lady, you can come to my house. So that probably means that he knows the lady, right? So things like that would help, right? So does that answer your... Yeah. Anyways.
One thing.
One thing.
So look at it as stages, right? How many people are here parents?
Shaka.
Cool. So your babies, I saw your sisters. They went through stages. So your relationship, you're going through stages. Whatever stage you're in right now, if it's good, enjoy it. If you're going through bumpy road, keep the communication open and know that this stage will pass. Alright?
And ask for help too.
And ask for help.
And if you have enough kids,
That's
you'll
the
be too busy to fight.
Aunties and uncles.
If you have enough kids, you'll be too busy to fight.
That's it. There's another question. Okay, we're back again. So we move from that, the babies and the family moms, I'm sorry. But we have to move forward. There's another little ones who need to go to bed, unfortunately. So, on our lookout, we were trying to choose the best couple today. Regards with the dancing, with the dressing up, and all sorts. Alright? So here's how we found it. Despite some of them didn't dance. Mtua and your wife, you didn't dance, man.
Next time.
Yeah, but you come up here because you guys are the dress-up couple today. Hey, come in the front. They will dance now.
Yeah.
And then the next couple we get in here
You don't win the
is these guys. You guys go to the front there too.
No way.
You also a good couple today for the good work, dancing and dressing. It's right. Because I could imagine with those little ones and then you try to make all those effects. Congratulations. Not you. I didn't call you. You guys are staying. Yeah. Go ahead. She found one. Okay.
Easy, man. Wagwan.
Aha, I've been told another one. Okay, Madagascar. Lana, the vote is up to you. Apparently it's a dancing, guys. It makes you guys voting there. So come here. So yeah, this is according with the dancing, but they didn't dance, but the dressing is good. So we went for the dressing, and then for the effect, and for the dancing again. So yeah, what do you want to say, sis?
Well, to be honest and fair, Wallace and the wife, they look mwah. And those are the kind of things that we want. Some people don't like much, but I tell you the truth, you look so good. And this is just something to show that we really appreciate you guys. The only reason why you guys cannot pass, it is because you are the organizers. So you guys cannot pass. Jessy, can you please do the honors?
When is a single night, Jessy? When is a single
It's coming.
night?
Just
looking at you.
It's coming. Keep an eye.
Who are singles? Who are singles? I can help. I'm a good pimp.
It will be coming, so watch out for the space.
And the better win on the singles night.
So thank you so much. To appreciate you. Here we go. And this one. Oh. That's Cindy and Mutua. Thank you. And brother and sister, I didn't get you. What are their names? Tony and Linley. I remember now. Thank you. Congratulations. And Stuart and Lala.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Woo.
Okay, let's do that.
Oh.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh.
I know you two can dance.
Majani kona, moyo ukakuchagua, ukasema nakupenda, na pia umepona, kabisa moyo kusumbua, maumivu yakikuenda. Ni zawadi, nimepesa wapi nikipofu kukosi. Vitu vya kuchuchumia kangaru, kisema tuikanga, leo kanifundizia kambetu, ukizungushia shanga, inashuka inapanda chini, nisha kafanika hanga, asa chuma ndokiwa na watoto tu, yeah. kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so busy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you.
The event was really successful, resounding success. Brought different people from different communities, different ages together. We had a wonderful evening, an awesome time getting to know people in the community, bonding. So I hope we have more of these events, home away from home. Because things like this don't happen that often, but I guess they're reaching out to the African community as well as the ethnic community. So we're getting to grow our circle, getting to network, getting to go out once in a while. So to the organizers, I say kudos and well done.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the organizers and thank you, Jackie, for inviting me. It's been a pleasure just hanging out with people from the different parts of Africa and just from different parts of the community, coming together to just enjoy one another's presence and just, you know, just enjoy the food, the dancing, the music, and it would be nice to do this more because yeah, it means more bonding and it's like home away from home, just like Jackie said, and it's been a pleasure being part of this great event, and thank you so much.
Well, the best part of the event, I will say the different talks, the advices people gave, because marriage is an institution ordained by God. It takes a lot give and take, but communication is key in any marriage. The food was great, really delicious and yummy. The dancing, I really enjoyed myself this evening. And just as you said, just as I said earlier, communication is key, date nights, all those things, going back to look at our wedding pictures, where we came from, where we've, you know, the fruits of the womb, and so on, everything that we've been blessed with in our marital life here. So I'm going home very gratified, satisfied, happy, and I've learned a few things from the other people that were around this evening.
Yeah, for me, I learned about Korero for our mental health. That means talking, you need to speak up. You know, if something is not going well, you speak up, you share with people that you confide in, people that will advise, people that will help you, not just us, but also our children. We encourage them to speak up because, you know, we live in a society where, you know, people don't want you to speak up, they want you to just shush. But learning today I learned how to communicate, that Korero is very important for our mental health, and I'm very grateful for that.
I found the event great. I mean, it was wonderful. My wife's been talking about the African community for a long time, but to be able to come along and to experience it and to enjoy the music and to meet the lovely people was great. And I really want to come and get more involved in the African community. Yeah. Oh, look, I think the key thing that I kept hearing was communication. And that would be something that I would tell a lot of people. Being a minister of a church, the key thing that I'd say to any couple is you can't over-communicate, you can under-communicate. So you've got to always, even sometimes when you don't feel like it, you've got to be willing to communicate, and that of course includes listening, so active listening. So like fully like what was spoken about today was great, and I think that I would encourage anyone to take that on board. And the love languages as well, I think the love language is super important. It's probably one of the best things that for me and my wife has been to understand, because we can make assumptions, but to understand how the other appreciates love or how they experience love may not be the same for us. So I think for anyone that's going into a marriage or anyone that's getting into a long-lasting relationship, learn about your love language and your partner's love language and talk about it. I just want to say hi to all the people that I connect with across the Lower North Island, the Presbyterian Church, to my family who live down in the South Island, and children who live in Wellington and Auckland, and Lala's family who live over in Madagascar, and all the connections that we've made through tonight as well. So big shout out to all of you.
It's something that we have realized as African ethnic people. We do need to gather around each other and talk about our needs, talk about the things that's affecting us on our day-to-day lives. We've got so many things that do happen amongst us as Africans. We've got our parents disconnecting from each other. The parents, their relationships struggle. So the idea is to bring these relationships together. And when there's a good relationship, then there's good children. Because when people are joined together, they produce good children and grandchildren. So we are kind of coming together, rallying around each other and saying, look, we can go back to the basics. We can mix New Zealand lifestyle and our own African backgrounds and really produce something that works for us. It's not us being 100% New Zealanders or 100% Africans. It's bringing the mix, and that mix is gonna help us thrive. The key things I feel people should take home is especially the communication. It's very important for a couple to communicate, talk about things that affect you at home, and for couples to be intimate. This event was meant to be a time for couples to be intimate, close to each other, and do things outside the home. And also organizing to have some date nights or date afternoons, whatever it is. But coming together as couples usually feeds the relationship. So we are looking for things that do feed the relationship to make it worth your while living together and bridge the gap between the children and the parents. That's our main focus for today. I would want to say thank you for the people we have helped to organize for this event. Namely, I want to say special thank you to ACCW. I know you did input into us getting this event. And then I want to say thank you to the people who actually met with me. We had a conversation. They brought up some really good ideas. And these people are namely Wallace, Khon, Jessy, and Modi. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are amazing. You are the best people I've ever met in my life who are so good at organizing. I say thank you once again. May God richly bless you. It's been awesome. It's been a lovely event. Thank you so much. And the people who own this place, Johnsonville Club, thank you for letting us be African. We've been dancing, we've been celebrating, we've been asking for more cups. That's what we do as Africans. And for your own information, we eat using our hands. So we didn't really need the forks and knives. But anyway, thank you for providing them. We used our hands and some people were using forks and knives. Thank you, Johnsonville Club. Thank you.